Hello, welcome to a video. Today we're going to be doing episode 6, I think it is, of Civilization Restart. And, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, at first we're going to see that, some more of southern, Sweden. So up to maybe, Stockholm, and also, southern Norway are all kind of just discovered a bit more. They're not claimed, but discovered. And we see over here that they discovered the Estonian islands. They stretch a bit more outwards, and they stretch up into southern Finland. That isn't the only thing though, so I'm just going to switch my brush here. As we see that they also discover eastern Mozambique, and they hear rumours of a lake, so they start trying to make their way towards that. Anyway, now I can switch back to my original brush. We see that some more of Morocco down here is discovered by Iberia, along with those two islands. But, they haven't discovered all the other islands. They just kind of saw them and went for those two. And all of this land gets claimed, because they also haven't got the memo yet of don't claim all the land you, discover. So, they claim all of that. And we see that, seeing as they don't really know what to do with the German or, Denmark regions, they give the two places sovereignty. So, let's make, this colour. So, Germany is going to be that colour. And, sure, Denmark is going to be this, brown. And, I think I can turn off the ideology map. Now, I just need to check something. Right, so, every country at the moment has capital city, apart from, obviously, these guys. But that's a very easy, fix to make. So, they can have, Germany can have their capital, here, maybe, near Berlin or whatever, roughly around there. And then Denmark can have theirs right there. So, yeah. And next we kind of see immigrants from all these countries who, kind of don't fit in, start to huddle, here. So, we see people from, Caspia come, Caspia, Israel, Somalia, maybe, some from Caucasus, maybe Egypt, Turkey. I don't know if that's too much. Turkey, and then maybe, a few European countries, people, just some Europeans. But anyway, they come over to here, and these guys all kind of come over to here, and they do some exploring. So initially they just continue down the coast, then that's getting kind of boring for them. So they start to drift off of trail, and eventually they reach here, in which they see the other coast, and they're okay, we're far away from all of our original countries. Let's set up our base here. And with time, their base kind of grows to accommodate new people who've heard about this rumours and have adventured and gone over to here. And oops. And eventually these are kind of the borders of the camp they've set up, in which they're going to establish their own nation in a baby bluish colour. Yeah, so they set up their own nation here. And, just, all the countries are kind of mad at this. This is our land. these are our people that you've taken, why? And they're like, oh, well, we wanted to be here. And over time, we're going to see, like, years and years go by, and their country expands and expands. It expands more into the trail they took, goes a bit more upwards, and eventually they discover all of Sri Lanka, in which they very quickly take for themselves, because, yeah, they need to accommodate their growing population. They also take all of Sri Lanka, because why not? So, Caspia is like, oh, well, yeah, we want to kind of go there. So, they expand a bit outwards of their current territory, not make India too worried, but they expand out here. And this is where they find, like, trails. So they kind of go down this coast here, and they start adventuring here. And they're, like, right by the border of this Indian country. They're like, no, they're going to find us, and then they're going to attack us, and they're going to kill us all, and we don't like that. But Caspia doesn't do this. They decide to just go up to there in what they claim, and just, keep exploring, whatever. So now we see that England is going to finally land on Ireland, take Isle of Man, and they're going to discover the rest of Scotland, about only, like, those islands. They don't discover those yet. And with the help of France, and France being like, oh yeah, we helped you get your independence, so why don't you help them get their independence? So, taking this advice... So taking this advice, England decides that they go up to there, and the rest is handed over to Scotland, where they become their own nation, and, like, the natives are very happy about this. Maybe a bit darker. Yeah, right. The natives are very happy about this. They're like, nice. We just thought we were going to be under British rule or whatever. And they put the capital right there. Also, if you're wondering what this is, it's like, this is one big county right here. So if you switch to the one brush, like, all of this county is one big county, but then that county itself is divided into 3 sections. So, like, Yorkshire or whatever. So we have, like, south, east, and west. So anyway, yeah. And France is, like, very proud of England. They're like, yep, cool. But if we turn on the ideology map, we don't have an ideology there. We don't have one there, or there. That's kind of bad. Well, not bad, but sad. Yeah. So we're going to be giving... Okay, that's a bit big. Okay. I'll fix that in a minute. We're going to be giving these guys, like, ideologies for their leaders. Alright, so first thing you see is that the Germans and the Danes both become monarchies. I mean, not that German one. They're a big country, but that's a bit ambitious for them. Alright, that's a fine cycle. Yeah, so they both become monarchies because of the influence in who kind of got them here. And this also is the same as Scotland. They, like, also joined monarchy, but not because they were forced to, but purely because they like England, and they're just like, okay, sure, we'll also become a monarchy. And we kind of see, like, the age of monarchy starting up against the age of aristocracy. It's like the Eastern world is kind of aristocracy, like, and the Western world is kind of monarchy based. And we also see that, like, Iberia actually becomes a publicist monarchy because, they just think it's the right thing to do. They want to. And so they do. But we need to assign one for here. And I don't really know what to do because, like, I mean, they don't really have a form of government. There's a bunch of, like, immigrants. But I'm going to say, like, an aristocracy. Just because they probably have, like, a representative from each country. And, like, to know the origins and whatnot. So that's what happens with the things. Don't really need that for the moment. And the Middle East kind of breaks out into chaos, into a bunch of tiny little groups. And we see, like, 4 kind of big groups pop up. And we see, like, some fighting, like, the red team, like, takes over some of this land. You know, we see, like, some of this land get taken. So if there's any background noise. Now we see, like, purple team take this. But eventually, like, Israel kind of steps in. And they're tired of fighting. So, what happens is that the Treaty of Arabia is basically signed by, like, all of these nations. Basically saying, we're not going to fight each other. These are just going to be our borders for now. And, yeah. Now we see back down here that Caspia finally reaches the Indian group, which they're very happy about. They're like, yes, these guys have been around for a while, but they're gonna have, like, they're weak. They don't have the technological, like, advantage, but we do, you know? So they claim all this land. They're like, mine. And, you know, that's kind of bad, because India isn't gonna like this. Well, it's bad for India. We also see that Caspia makes, like, an attempt to kind of get out of just their, like, India. Like, they extend out of the Caspian Sea, you know, take some of that land, claim it all, you know, and their population is very unsteady at the moment. People are like, what are we doing here? Like, we already have too much land. Why are we still expanding? We're already the biggest country. Like, we're probably bigger than the Turkey, so why are we still doing this? But Caspia doesn't care, and this is eventually going to, like, be bad for them, because see that the Indian part of Caspia, after being forced to invade into India, like all these people are forced to invade up here. We see that they actually break away all of this region, and this is kind of like just the military. So they swiftly start taking this land, like Caspia can't defend themselves from it. And eventually they have to call it off and say, okay, you can just separate from us. You can be free, it's all fine. I was like, I realised I did not give India a capital earlier. Sorry about that. Well, their capital should be, like, there, where they started. And these guys' capital is going to be there. And, yeah. We see that India, not, like, they didn't originally notice. They didn't originally notice that these guys were breaking away, and they thought, oh no, we're getting invaded, we need to run. So, some of them go up, reach Himalayas, all die. Some of them go down this coast, and go, like, they go around this coast, and eventually they settle, like, here. We see that some of these guys who did that, like, they kind of branch off, go over here. Well, they don't actually enter there. They go around this coast and eventually settle in, like, this area. Take this island, you know, stretch upwards. See that some of these guys aren't accepting that, so they go around up to here, you know, they take this area, And I'm sorry about this background noise, but I'm like in a rush, so I can't really record this afterwards, and I've kind of already started this. I don't want to have to erase everything I've already done, so there might be a bit of background noise for this ending. But some of these guys don't like it, so they go through this territory, go down into here, and they start a nation, like in Korea, specifically North Korea, and we see that 4 nations kind of arise. I would colour them in now, but I'm kind of in a rush. So they'll be coloured for next time, but just know that these kind of groups are their own nation now. Alright, so I didn't want to end off this video all rushed and stuff, so it's hours later now, but I just wanted to update. So I've coloured all these guys in. These are some new nations, and I'll just include some ideologies and capital cities. So I'll just do that real quick. Alright, so we see this navy blue, dark blue kind of team has the capital there. This hot pink team has it there. This Hong Kong-ish team has it there. This Myanmar tail team, Thailand, whatever, has it there. And we also did the Middle East nations, didn't really know what to do for them, so I just added them wherever. And yeah, let me just quickly do the ideologies. Alright, so for these ideologies, we see that the closest one becomes an aristocracy, just like India, but all the other ones become monarchs. But also I'd like to say, I had this written down for next episode, but yeah, West India does become a monarchy. And let me just do these real quick, which, they're just going to be aristocracies, because they were, all kind of set up by Israel, so, yeah. But, yeah, that's all for now.